What's up, y'all? It's your man Aaron Thomas. Listen, tune in to Talk Live Tuesdays with Tag. You already know what it is.
Everybody go. Everybody go. Run and tell everyone you know. It's time for Talk Live Tuesday. Talk Live Tuesday. You know where we at. It's time to sip and chat. We get to the bag and tell them that Tag did it. Tuesday. Talk Live Tuesday. You know where we at. It's time to sip and chat. We get to the bag and tell them that Tag did it.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Talk Live Tuesdays with Tag. It's your boy Tag did it, and you already know it's another week of Talk Live Tuesday downtown on the loft and on the couch tonight. I know y'all know it's a familiar face, and we're gonna get into some things of the things. We got Aaron Thomas. What's going on, Aaron?
What's good?
Are you ready?
I think so.
Listen, I hope you're.
What's going to happen, but we here.
I hope you are ready. Listen, before we get started, y'all already know what I have to do each and every week. We're going to shout out all the businesses really quick. So make sure you're following me at Tag Diddy because I am a brand. Make sure you're following Talk Live Tuesdays on Instagram as well. Make sure you're following, y'all know, because I'm going to be hitting that hookah the whole time. Lavish Hookahs Official on Instagram. And then you're going to also follow us at the Boom Network on YouTube so you're catching every episode that's coming out. Now listen, we got Aaron Thomas on the couch. We about to get into the things.
Oh, man.
Aaron, are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Now, I'm gonna do a little icebreaker with you just to get you, ready because I'm just to see what type of questions I'm gonna be asking.
Okay, well let me
take a sip really quick. Yeah, because our icebreaker question is why gospel music again after you said you never felt good enough in the gospel industry?
Definitely. It's a lot going on in the world right now. And as I've grown over the years, at least where I'm at now, being 32 years old, I learned that a lot of stuff in life is not about me. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff now is about my destiny and purpose in life and fulfilling that. And a lot of that has to do with impacting people. So this chapter in my life, I just feel like it's time to encourage and inspire people, kind of like ignite people's faith again. Mm-hmm. I see a lot on social media, and it seems like a lot of people have lost their identities of themselves, mm-hmm. Trying to find things and do what other people want to do, but they lose sense of their own self. So coming back to gospel, I feel like it's just a platform to be able to initiate that as a start, but not only just as gospel, but giving a different scope on what gospel is.
Okay.
So, yeah. I want to get... Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. So, being that all that has happened in the gospel industry for you, is this where you're going to stay now, or is it something that
It's a good question. I'm very sensitive to the chapters and seasons that I'm in my life. Mm-hmm. Right now, gospel, I don't know what God is doing in my life right now as far as musically, but gospel is where it's at right now. I think I'll forever be able to reach and impact people internationally like I've been doing. Right. But like I said, this music is so inspiring. I think people are going to forget that it's gospel. It's that enlightening. It's that fun. It speaks literally to everybody. Yeah. And believe it or not, I have a new album out called God Doors. And people that are not from the church are the ones that are actually supporting. So it's impacting everybody for sure.
That's normally how it goes. I think that the church now church has always, to me, has been a place where they didn't really care about, of course, like our kind, but also if it's not by the book that they feel like they read or the book that, that the pastors go by, I feel like the Bible, shall I say, but I feel like if it's not by the Bible, then it's just not right to them. So, okay, you got to,
it's tough. Even being like LGBT, like it's tough. People had just the judgmental thing. Like I think that's the hardest thing that I go through. And I try to shine a light on so many different things in life because we all human at the end of the day. Yeah. I go through the same things everybody else goes through, no matter how glamorous, no matter how successful. And I want to show people like it's okay, to still live life to the fullest, without life's and society's stipulations and religion and stuff. So,
well, we're gonna get more into that. But so I just want to know, like, who is Aaron Thomas? Like Philly, give me some of that. Like how was it growing up in Philly?
Yeah, so Philly. So I grew up in Philly. God, I grew up in West Philly. Well, I was born in West Philly. Grew up a little bit in West Philly, and then I moved to Uptown with my people. So, some of y'all that watch the show Chasing Atlanta, a lot of y'all know that I didn't grow up with my real parents.
Right.
So my aunt had took me in. My real parents, from the story that I know, they felt like they weren't fit parents, so they kind of just left me astray. And my aunt had found me somehow. So that was an interesting life, always being the underdog, the outsider. I never ever felt like I fit in anywhere. I was kind of like robotic, per se. I always had to sing sing. You gotta sing. Well, Mom, I want to be, I want to play basketball. I want to be a wrestler. I had other dreams, aspirations. But I went through a lot. I was very sheltered.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to find myself as an individual. I don't think I found myself till I was like the end of high school. I went through a lot of stuff. Like, I seen people get shot. I seen people get raped. I seen molestation. I seen so many different things at a young age. And being, not knowing what's going on, a lot of that stuff I kind of was immune to. So a lot of those things I didn't experience till later on in life. But I feel like the hardest thing, or anything, I went through a lot of hardships. I always put my hardships first before my successes for some reason. It kind of just helps me and let me know that I'm on the right path to be the best man I'm supposed to be. But that's just me. I'm a real regular guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Virgo.
We're going to talk about that too. We're going to get into that too.
Simple guy. That God gave a gift to, literally.
Yeah.
That's who I am as a person.
So, being that you didn't grow up with your your biological parents, like, what effect did that have on you, like, in life, and then how does that inspire your music?
I say in a positive and a negative effect, because for a long time I always wanted answers. Why did they give up on me? Or what would my life be like if my birth parents raised me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I guess the pro for me was it gave me the strength to endure certain things. I have a lot of friends who also didn't have their parents. And a lot of times they use it as a crutch. For me, I always had music as my drive to kind of overlap that and allow me to heal during all those things in my life and all those stages and steps in my life. But I always had questions and I always wanted answers. And still to this day, I don't have all the answers. But I feel like I'm not on the street. I'm not on drugs, on crazy. And I feel like I did okay.
Yeah, and that's good. I'm glad to hear you say, like, you have music as a way to, like, be a let out for that, because some people, like you said, some people go through a lot and don't have anything to let it out, and it bottles up in them, and then the world it's tough out here. It's tough.
Definitely taught me some discipline over the years too.
Listen, when I tell you, I'm teaching myself discipline right now. In this day.
That's why you can't judge nobody. You never know what people going through, been through.
Right.
You know what I mean? You never know what their journey is. Their journey may not be your journey.
Right.
Their life experience may not be your life experience. So.
Yeah. Well, so this year we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We're gonna switch gears because I be ready to cry, and I'm over here sitting here trying to bottle up, keep my feelings together. So, so this year, of course, we know you've been on TV. We're gonna talk about that, but this year you did Chasing Atlanta, which is where I met you. How was your Chasing Atlanta experience?
It was interesting. I was going through a crazy transition, dealing with my mental. And I don't know, I was to the point where I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this music thing and still be in Atlanta, I got to do something. So when I got the call to do Chasing Atlanta, I'm like, oh, wow, this is going to be crazy. I mean, I watched the shows and I thought y'all was crazy as hell, which y'all are.
Very much.
Like, I'm low-key just as crazy, so I'll be fine. But it took me a while to open up on Chasing Atlanta, as you can see. But I was just very sensitive. Like, if I promote love, I have to make sure that's what I do. Right. You know what I mean? And getting to know you guys on set and off set, it just took me a while to adjust. But I loved every bit of it. It gave me a different scope of, what people go through on an everyday basis and the grind and the chase. And I just loved the family ship that we created. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's not understood by many. But it's very, when we get together, it's on. We do what we do. But I loved it. It was like the best reality experience I had so far in my whole career. Actually,
that's what's up. Do you feel like you got more supporters from Chasing Atlanta?
Definitely introduced me to a whole new audience for sure. And a lot of them I'm still connected with. A lot of my Chasing fans. What's good?
What's good? Y'all? Hey y'all.
And a lot of people. It's definitely shout out to Dario. It's definitely opened up a lot of doors.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people sleep on the show, but it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would you want to go back for another season?
I think I would. Now that I'm more healed and I have a lot of more things going on, I feel like it's definitely people will be excited to see what's next for Anytime.
Yeah, we would be. So when you were on the show, you used to always be like, well, if I'm not getting paid for this, or if I'm not then whatever.
Yes.
Why was that your attitude? Because I felt like I was just like, oh, he's a little cocky. Something. The Virgo is Virgoing. You know.
What? I wouldn't say it's cocky. I was, I have new management at the time. And I just had a certain protocol at that time. So I was really just following protocol. Anybody knows me and my whole track record of my career, I always give back. I'm very charitable. I'm always doing something for somebody in the business. So I feel like I paid my dues.
Right.
So it was just a thing of that. I just hold myself to a certain standard. That's all. So even if I'm not getting paid, can we at least barter? What's your plan? What's your goal? How can we both benefit off of it? So when I say that, I mean it in that aspect.
Yeah.
How can we both benefit off of it? Just instead of let me use Aaron Thomas because he's on the show, or let me see, it's those things. You should be very careful who you do stuff with.
I agree.
So that's what it was. That's all.
Do you business? Period.
Everybody handles it differently.
Do you feel like you actually made like actual friends from being on the show?
I could say that.
Who have you bonded with the most?
I bonded with Ike the most. There's a few other folks like Jay, Amor, Cam, and slowly y'all. You, Don,
behind the camera tonight.
Who else? It was on one person I really didn't connect with, and I love her down. Willa, I didn't really spend as much time as I wanted to. Who else?
Shout out to Willa.
Slowly becoming friends with Wayne as well. Rico's cool. Y'all all know me and Lil Kendra went through a few things.
I was going to ask about that.
Yes, so that was such a crazy misunderstanding. That was an interesting one.
Yes, because we'll like to get too into it, but let's talk about that because the kids really didn't know, what really happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So of course you and Kendra got into a little spat in the cabins, and it kind of escalated to a level that we didn't think that it would escalate to, especially it being you.
Yes.
So how was that moment, even though it wasn't filmed? Like how was that moment? Like in that moment, like what were you thinking? Like what was just?
I'll say this: we all had a little bit too much fun at the cabin.
We had a lot of fun at the cabin.
It actually was filmed, but nonetheless, at the end of the day, misunderstandings happen. I feel like it was a big misunderstanding, and we all were lit, and it just got real crazy. Threats were made, and things were perceived in the wrong way, and it was just like we ain't know each other like that. So it was just like, oh God, here we go. I was like, I'm getting into some drama, and it's off the cam. But I felt like I could have handled this situation a little better, and they could have handled the situation better.
Do you feel like?
Oh God.
Do you feel like it was kind of a put on? Because I don't know if you remember when Wayne said, "Oh, please just stop arguing with her because you keep saying something back and forth. She just gonna keep going."
Well, the crazy thing was it wasn't even about her. The whole situation. So I was just like, "This is interesting." It was more like a defense mechanism with the whole best friend, her and Wayne. It was just a thing. But long story short, it was a bad misunderstanding. And I feel like I wish it didn't go that way. However, I'm glad that it went that way because we began to bond more and get to know each other a little bit more in a deeper setting. So.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, I'm glad that you were able to, maneuver out of that situation because being that I've been in that situation.
Because I know I was like, what if I think crazy? Nobody
being in that situation before, I real life was like, okay, I just hope it doesn't get there, especially while we're out of town and in a whole different city. I just did not want it to be what it was with me. So no.
I tried my best not to escalate. That's all I went to the room.
I see. I'm proud. I'm very, very proud. So we're gonna take a quick break, really quick, y'all, and we're gonna hop right back into some things. So we got Aaron Thomas on the couch. Y'all already know. Let me tell y'all. We're going to get into the American Idol team. We're going to get into some, change the name team because, I had asked that question on Chasing Atlanta. A lot of tea was spilling out on the show. So we're going to get into all of that when we come right back. Boom. All right, y'all. Welcome back to Talk Live Tuesdays with Tag. You already know we got Aaron Thomas on the couch, and we just gonna hop right back into things. Aaron, how you feeling?
I'm good.
You know, that was, you know,
I'm trying to get mine.
we gonna get.
You know it's gonna heat up. I feel
It's gonna heat right on up. So now, of course, on the show, it was me being a little mess, but of course, I was being a little messy because of someone else. But no, so on the show, of course, you know, I brought up like you had a name change. You were going by Terrence Stone at the beginning. So how did that come about? Like, what made you change your name to Aaron Thomas? Because I know you said on the show that Aaron Thomas is your actual name.
Yes. So back in 2009, I came out as bisexual to the world. And mind you, I was still a gospel artist at this time, so it went crazy viral in the media. I wasn't expecting it to, but at that time, I felt like I needed to release, not just for myself, but for my fans as well. I feel like people needed that sense of authenticity in the industry. That's the time where everything was kind of changing from, you know, CDs, everything was streaming, and it wasn't that many people to look up to role model wise or anybody to look up to. So I was like, I think it's that time for me to enter into my next life, my next level in my life. I have to embrace myself fully. So that to me was a release for me. And Terrence Stone, for those that may or may not know, I was kind of going for like a superhero type vibe, the superhero music. And it just didn't feel real to me at that time. I kind of was going on the character base, and you know how artists kind of change up and change their whole character and dynamic. I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to keep my household name. Household name.
Household.
Right, from the hood.
Hood nigga.
At that time, I wanted to do that, but it just didn't feel real to me. So I was like, all right, dang, now the blog is talking about it now. Everybody know about Terrence Stone. But I didn't really release any music at the time as Terrence Stone, so I went back to Aaron Thomas, and I just kind of had to rebuild my whole career all over again. And that's where that name change stemmed from.
Okay, well, I'm glad you cleared that up for me and the girls. So you said you came out as bisexual, so you're bisexual.
That's what I guess if you would put a title on it, I just call I'm a man at the end of the day. A man that has other life experiences than a lot of other people. Okay, so
you're out here doing it with the fish.
Well, no. Yes and no. No. I haven't dated a female in a long time, actually. It's been years. But my preference is guys. But it's like I could do either or. Like the attraction is still there when it comes to females. But I'm just really like whatever I'm into. Okay, so if that makes any sense.
You a top.
Yeah.
Oh.
But a top with some experience outside of the top.
Okay.
When it comes to a top city, you feel me?
Okay, so speaking of, you know, and also on Chasing Atlanta, the girls tried to put out some other things. Okay. And if you're comfortable with me talking, I'm talking about it anyway, because it's
listen. Let's get into it.
I run the show over here. No, so on the show, of course, they talked about you doing OnlyFans, and you know that was some. I wouldn't say it came out, but I know you spoke on it too. But were you nervous that was going to come out on the show?
Yes and no. I'm a man of many talents. Let's just put it out there, period. And being the guy that I am, like I talked about it earlier, I was a sheltered individual, you know what I mean? However, I am all about, I want to try everything out. I'm always I'm that guy. He is so funny. I be anxious about stuff, but no, on the real tip, I was homeless when I first came to Atlanta, so a lot of people don't know that. And that was one of the things that I had to do. And another thing that I had to hang up too. At the same time, I didn't want to become a celebrity with that. And it was getting real close to that. So I was like, ooh, I got to make a sacrifice. I got my car. I got my house. I got what I needed. Do I still continue to do this or not? And nothing against anybody that does OnlyFans or adult content entertainment. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Everybody's life is their life. But people got to do what they got to do.
Say it once, I'm going to say it again, because lonely nights be lonely and Twitter comes in here. Thank you. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, why do people make sex such a bad thing? Like, if I'm not mistaken, sex is a natural thing.
It's not.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's not. I mean, sex is not a bad thing.
Society turns into a bad thing.
Am I having sex? I'm trying to think if I'm gonna have sex on the camera. I mean, for my men, but not for the world to see.
Okay.
But I'm not opposed to, because that's, like I said, you don't know what reason people do it. Also, that's not your life. You can't tell another person what to do with a walk of life. And like I said, somebody got to do it because we got to watch somebody have sex and other things like that.
I wasn't trying to make a career.
Yeah, right. You're not making a career out of it.
Something that I experienced. It was dope. It was great. Whatever. But yeah, we don't gotta go.
So when the show did come out, I noticed that you did delete that Twitter because the girls were lurking. I would say the girls were definitely lurking. The girls do the page, and then the page got around. I'm speaking T now because So because I was like, oh, okay, what I found. Oh, okay.
You like what you see? Drink to that.
I have no comment. But anyway, so like, what made you jump and delete it then versus doing it before? Because once the show came out, because like I said, you had already kind of had a name, but were you still going through that situation of being homeless when you got to Chase Atlanta, or was?
So I was just transitioning, and I was just debating if I wanted to still do it or not. Like, did I want to just do solo content? Did I want to continue with whatever? But I feel like nobody want no man that's on OnlyFans. At the time I wanted love, and I was interested in dating at the time. But I was like, nah. And I get bored. I get really bored. Like I've been celibate for a month now recently.
Period.
Shout out to me.
Oh, so you're single.
I'm single. Yeah, I'm single. Single.
So you've been celibate.
I ain't ready to mingle though. I'm chilling right now.
So you've been celibate a month, but how long have you been single? Because last time we checked, you had a man.
For that month and a half. I'm sorry, month and 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, and what happened with that? Because you were.
Oh God.
We had seen you.
The real hot seat.
We seen you outside. You was outside with him and everything, so we knew it was serious. But what happened?
I just felt like I really needed a relationship at that time, and I learned that I didn't. A lot of times we pray to God for things that we think we want and need, and once we get it, sometimes we had a realization. It's like, oh, this is nice. They're perfect. They're this and that, but I don't want this at my time. This time in my life. So that's what it was. He wasn't a horrible person. He was an amazing person, but like I said, it's a time and a season for everyone. And I noticed even with my life and people I've encountered in my life, sometimes I'm in their life to impact them in a way to become a better person.
Right.
So
and now I'm gonna ask this since we're gonna talk the subject of relationship. So there's this quote that's been going on online that said that if a man is not financially stable, he shouldn't be trying to date anyone. Do you feel like that's valid?
I don't believe in that.
Yeah,
I only say that because we don't live alone in the world. You know what I'm saying? So if we planning to be together or whatever, I don't think somebody should be counted out because they don't have the coins.
Right.
I don't think somebody should be counted out because they don't live on their own. I don't think somebody should be counted out because they don't work a job. You know, whatever it is. I feel like know what you're into first, and then see if you can tackle entering into somebody else's life, because that's a whole nother level of accountability right there. You know what I mean? If you're choosing to enter somebody else's life, I think you're responsible for the choice that you made to get involved with that person that doesn't have it all the way that you desire. Right. So yeah.
And yes, because I just feel like it's a little cliche because it's just like, what if you're married to your person and something happens with them financially, they lose their job, whatever case may have, you just gonna go file for divorce and get divorce papers?
Something always happens.
And some people may do that, but I feel like that's shallow because at the end of the day, you're with somebody for them. You're not with them for their, what they have. Yes, you can be with them, and if I can see if they're not trying to be successful or they're not trying to better themselves, then okay. But if you're with if someone comes to you and say, "Hey, I'm not fully there yet. I'm trying to get there," and you feel like this person is good for you, then I feel like pursue it and go and see where it goes. But if you're with a person that's not trying to like make anything of themselves, let their ass go.
And be very clear. If you want commitment, be committed.
Be committed, period.
You don't want that. You just want somebody around to cuddle up with and go out on dates and travel and stuff. Just make it known in the front. I think that's what we lack in today's society. And in any category of life. Whether you're straight, bi, whatever.
Communication.
Just keep it a bean. Like, we need people to be free.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Nobody needs to be, cage minded when you're walking into. That's why everybody got trust issues. Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have trust issues if we were able to embrace people for who they are and all that stuff.
I agree. So, outside of you being on Chasing Atlanta and reality TV, of course, you've done some other shows, and we're gonna get into American Idol. So, you did American Idol. What year did you go out for that show?
I was so young, child. It was season 3. I don't remember what year it was, but I was
How
mad
old were
young.
you?
I think, child, 15, 16? 15, 16, something like that.
And what was that experience like for you? Like, what made you go so big so early?
Oh my God. So it's crazy because I didn't make it that far, but I made a lot of connections. So here's what it was. This was the season that Fantasia won. A lot of y'all know. And shout out to Jennifer Hudson, George Huff, all my peoples on the show.
Yeah.
So I didn't make it through because I didn't know how to dance.
Wow.
So, back at this time, they did the group auditions.
Yeah.
So, they pick everybody. And then I made it to the top 100, and I didn't know how to dance. And I didn't make it there.
So that was a
thing at the time.
Requirement.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was way harder than it is today. Now you
Wow.
can just go up there and do your thing.
Do your thing.
But I made a lot of friends. Like Jennifer Hudson, that's my heart. George Huff is my heart. Those are real cool peoples. And it's crazy because I haven't even met Fantasia yet, but I'm still friends with Simon Cowell.
Okay.
There's a few other people that's on the show as well. That I'm friends with. But I've written and produced for a lot of artists in American Idol.
Okay.
The Voice, so it's a lot of great things that stem from that show, from me being just on that show specifically.
So you write music for other people as well?
Yes. I've written for The Temptations, Pamela Long from Total, from Bad Boy Records. I've written and collaborated with B. Slade, Adam Blackstone. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Those that don't know Adam Blackstone, he's the MD for Nicki Minaj, Eminem, Mary J. Blige. And I've come across a lot of legendary greats that took me under their wing.
Yeah.
Throughout my music career, my 20 years of music.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Like I don't know if I would have been able to do something like that young because I just got out of my shyness now. Like I never really had a stage presence.
I was still shy. Trust me, I was the quiet one in the room in the corner. Like y'all see me on the show.
Now listen, that
still plays a part. I'm just super over analytical. And I always want to make sure I don't offend anybody. I always want to make sure I'm being a light in the room some type of way, whether it's dim or whether it's bright. So.
Yeah. So would you go back on another singing show? Like would you do The Voice or something like that? If
it depends.
Opportunity was there.
It depends. It depends. I'll say it depends on where I'm at in life. I guess if I'm just sitting around not doing that, cool. Let me audition.
Yeah.
But where I'm going now, with the opportunities, writing in different films and stuff like that, I think I'd be alright. But if I do something like that, I would probably just work on the show again, as an engineer or production or something like that.
Okay. Well, I would like for you to be on The Voice so we can hear you sing those vocals.
Yeah.
But so you also did Showtime at the Apollo.
That's how I got discovered.
12 years old. Oh, wow. Young. A lot of people go on that show young. Jasmine Sullivan went on that show. Down there.
Monique was the host at the time.
Okay.
That's how old that was.
Yes,
Monique. I feel like it was yesterday.
How did you even get the opportunity to be on the show?
So one of my mom's friends had invited me to audition. And I was like, I don't know about no Showtime at the Apollo. I was a church boy. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in a church. You feel me?
The church.
Yeah, so I didn't know about no Showtime at the Apollo. So I just went and auditioned. I never forget. I auditioned Yolanda Adams' song called "Still I Rise," and I got called in the next day. Yeah. And then we did a news special locally on Channel 10. I performed on there, and the next day was the show. And it was crazy. That went viral too. I still had that magazine and newspaper post from that.
What did you earn? Did you get a lot of attention after that, or was it something that just?
I did. And that made me want to become a recording artist after that day. Because I told you I wanted to be a I promise y'all down. I wanted to be a basketball player. You cannot tell me nothing.
Oh, you know how to play ball?
I play ball.
I mean, West Philadelphia, born and raised. Nah, I'm just like.
I love basketball so much. But yeah.
I think basketball is actually my favorite sport of them all. I don't like.
What football. You like about it?
I like basketball because you get to see the boys run up and down the court in their gym shorts. And I don't know. It's just something else. I feel like basketball. Yeah, people get hurt in basketball, but it's not as rough to me.
Right.
I feel like with football, I be cringing watching people get tackled. Basketball is I can enjoy. I can sit there and do my little screaming and yelling or whatever I gotta do. But football is it's too manly for me. It's way too manly. I don't like that. I like manly stuff. So BET Sunday's Best.
Yes, season 6.
Season 6. what was it like at this point? Had you already came out?
Yep.
Yeah. So how was it? How was it going into that show after coming out? You know, as bisexual at the time.
It was interesting. I'll say that. At the time, I was working with a lot of artists on that show. Shout out to Davon Fleming, Kiefer Rollison. She was the runner-up for that season. And I actually wrote and produced her whole project. And I'm the one that told her to go on the show. Y'all heard it first.
Period.
And then she became a runner-up, winner on the show. But I feel like they definitely treated me different at those auditions.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I definitely should have went farther than how I went. But we always gonna live in that. So I just feel like I was doing so many waves at the time. I had the most successful gospel project. I sold over 200,000 units independently.
Period.
Nobody in gospel does that. Period. And so a lot of people was like, "Oh, he's answering. Oh, how is he doing this?" And everybody always tried to figure out how I was doing it. So a lot of people, win opportunities from me and be shady, and it was whatever. And that's when I was over the gospel industry for a while.
And now that you're going back into it, are you scared of that same criticism again, or no?
I already mastered it already.
Yeah.
So now when you
yeah, talk about it.
See, when you're free, you are on a whole nother frequency.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean you're hiring anybody and looking down on anybody, but when you're free from something, nobody can take you back to that cage or that slavery that you already came from. So for me, in gospel, I think it's highlighted to be perfect, a perfect person.
Yeah.
And that's not who we are as individuals. So for me, I want to bring the mantle and put the light on. What about, how can you save me from something?
Right.
What can you tell me outside of blessings? What can you tell me outside of shouting in church? What can you tell me or what can you show me outside of dressing nice? I mean, what do you go through? People want to know what you go through because you never know whose life you can save.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you're doing the saving, but your life stories help, people get through.
Yeah.
So for me in gospel, I don't care about the industry no more.
Yeah.
I just want to be that person that God told me to be, which is to share my life experience with the world and show somebody some love and to show the people God is real. That's it. Yeah. That's what life is all about.
And what do you feel like? Do you feel like your calling is to be a singer?
Yeah, definitely. I try to run from it thousands of times in my life, but I always end up getting back into it. Yeah, and it's not even just singing. Like my whole, I have a gifting where I can relate to people on a whole nother level. Yeah. Whether you're homeless, whether you're somebody that's counted out, whether you're somebody that is going through whatever, molestation, that's going through non-acceptance, that's going through so many different things. I'm somehow that person that ends up being connected with somebody that has gone through something traumatizing or something that dramatically changed their life. But I have that difference. I have that impact. And it's not just through my music, but it's also through my walk of life as well. Like I've always been that person, like I said, I was an outsider. Like I was somebody that was always pushed to the side, or I don't know how I feel about it. The ugly duckling, whatever y'all want to call it. Yeah. I always felt like I was not good enough. And I always wanted somebody else to feel good enough. I always wanted somebody else to know that you can make it. I like to say, there's somebody that's worse off than you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Always be worse. Whatever. Yeah. And if you have another opportunity to breathe, you have another opportunity to live and change the situation. So I'm real big on that. I'm real big on actuality as a realist. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because we all go through stuff. Anxiety, depression, traumas, whatever we go through. Through is the key word. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you're still living, you're still breathing, you're going to get through it. So.
Yeah. And I literally had to tell myself that recently. Like, you could be things could be so much more worse than what you're making it out to be. And it's like, you still have your house, you still have the car, you still have your job. Like, some people don't have a house to go to. Some people don't have a car to drive. Some people don't have a job. People are literally, whatever. So it's like, take what you have now and be grateful for that. And it's like, I've caught myself recently, just in this week alone, like getting in my car and being like, thank you, Jesus, for my car. Yeah. Like, being in my house and being there, thank you, Jesus, like, I'm home. Like, just these, because I heard a friend tell me one time, you have to be just tell God thank you for the simple things. It don't have to be all the big blessings you've got. And just tell God you're grateful for what you have in that moment. Like, if you pick up your phone, Thank you, Lord, for this phone. Like, because you just never you couldn't have that either. Like, it's just a lot of things that we have in life that we should be grateful for that we don't even realize that if we didn't have it, we wouldn't know what to do without it.
And
so
be grateful for the ability to recover.
Yeah.
As well. You know, a lot of people see us on TV and they don't know a lot of the things that we go through. You know, to the grind, the hustle. You know, the sacrifice. I think the sacrifice is the biggest thing that we miss during the process of our success. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we all go through things just like y'all. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man. I definitely. Wow. So now that we're just, in the spirits, we're feeling good. But no, you have your album coming out. Well, it's out. You got God Doors. Mm-hmm. And how was it creating, your gospel album, being back in gospel for the first time in so many years? Yeah, so so many stages. So let's start off with so my last album, Just Aaron, which did very well, that I released in January. That was supposed to be a gospel album. So I feel like for me, at that time, I wasn't spiritually ready. I'm like, God, I'm not going to gospel. You got me chopped. Yeah. But over the past couple months, God's been giving me vision and different things and stuff. And I said, all right, I'm a mess. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not nobody perfect. Why do you want me to do this? Right. And I know it's bigger than me, but at the same time, I want to do some other stuff in life. God, like, why? So God Doors started off as a God conversation. Yeah. And I forgot what was the album called before that? I don't remember. Anyways, God Conversations. And I was like, I want to write songs that's not so churchy. Right. I want to write songs that's not so, yeah. So I was like, all right, well, how can I do this? Like, how can I do this? And I literally, over the past month, y'all so funny. No, this real rap though, because I'm just tired of the same old gospel, like for real. So I was like, all right, God, all right, give me some words to say. Every day I prayed. So I was like, oh, well, why don't I turn my prayers into songs? Mm-hmm. So God Doors was what it was. I said, God, if you want me to do this gospel thing, I'm a hot mess. I need you to open up God Doors so somebody can see you through me. Mm. That's all. I just want to be used. Whatever you got for me, you got for me. Whatever you got for the people, you got for people. And there's so many good songs on there. What's your favorite?
I like all of them. This is the first album I'll say all of them are my favorite. And I don't know. I don't ever remember recording this project. That's how spiritual this project is. This is the first project I like all the songs on. I say one I listen to often is it's a song called Good to Me. Mm-hmm. And it just the first word says, the way you wake me up every day feels so good to know you're thinking about me. Mm-hmm. So it's just a conversation. Sometimes we feel lonely, or sometimes we're going through, somebody might be going through a breakup, or somebody might have a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or fiance or whatever that may live far away and they miss them, whatever. It's always good to know that God is still thinking about you. You know what I mean? So I want real simple stuff like that. Wow. But this project is going to be impacting because not only that it's in the gospel realm, but it's a monumental thing. Yeah. Where I'll be the first black open LGBT male to have the #1 album in the country. Yeah. You know Nicki Minaj and all that. You know what I'm saying? All your faves. I'm going #1 too. But the first in history to ever do it with a gospel album. Yeah. There's not an out gospel artist at all out here. So
yeah. And how does that make you feel?
Good.
Well,
it makes me feel. You know what? Cause y'all trying to turn me into a Virgo.
Before we gonna let you turn into a Virgo. We gonna take a quick break real quick, and then we gonna come right back on Talk Like Tuesdays with Tad. Boom.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You deserve. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You deserve all the glory. Deserve all the glory, yeah. Deserve all the glory.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Talk Live Tuesdays at 10. We're on the couch with Aaron Thomas. Aaron, are you enjoying the show so far?
It's really good.
I'm glad. Am I boring you?
Not at all.
Oh, great. Cause I know you said don't bore you, so I'm trying not to bore you. But I want to jump back into your album really quick and ask you one question. So being that you're an LGBTQ artist, and like, how does that impact your gospel music or just your music in general?
I think it's music that's true to me and also true to everyone. Like I said, God can use anyone. I just want to put that out there. This religion has
Talk about
effed
it.
us up so bad to the point where we feel like we're not worthy. We feel like we're not good enough. We feel like we can't be great. We feel like that we can't have money. We feel like so many different things that we were manipulated when we were taught in church. When at the end of the day, we're all here for a certain story, for whatever God is creating. And I want to make sure people know that you can be free. That's just the most easiest thing I can say. You can be free from bondage, free from judgment, free from rejection. You could be free from all the trauma. You could be free from all the domestic violence. You could be free from everything. And this project it's slated as gospel, but this is life-changing music. I can't even put a genre on this in reality because it speaks straight to what people are going through.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes. I forgot what your question was. I started about to go in.
No, you.
Oh, okay.
I'm listening.
But yeah, God doors. It's, everybody wants a blessing, right? Or everybody sees themselves somewhere.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to embrace yourself first.
Yeah.
Be, like you said earlier, be grateful for the things that you have now. How can God trust you if you're not grateful for what you have now? How can God trust you if you don't even know who you are right now? So those little tools, seeking God in prayer, meditation, and all those things. I just want to put a different light and a different scope on what gospel is. Like, it's literally your life experience, sharing with somebody else, loving on somebody else, and living life to the fullest according to your destiny and purpose. God doors, baby.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me, though. It's not going to affect me, I don't think. LGBT is going to hit everybody. LGBT, Muslims, Buddhists, everybody. Anybody believes in whatever. This project is on.
Well, I'm excited to see, what this project does for you, and I can't wait to really be able to get into it, because I feel like I love gospel music, but I'm also a person, even when it comes to rap, singing, whatever. I love the artists that speak on their life and actually talk about what they're going through and talk about experiences they've had. Reasons why I love Nicki Minaj, reasons why I love K. Michelle, reasons why I love Future, because even though Future may be talking about his gang life, he's still giving me a story to what he's talking about, and that's what I love about artists. So I can't wait to really dive into it and hear your story and hear what you've been through and what where you've overcome, and I'm glad to see that you've overcome.
Yes, me too.
So
before you just took me in again.
Listen, because
when y'all see me, just know I'm a witness to being a survivor.
Yes, you are. Okay. You are literally a survivor. No, for real. So we're going to jump into our hot seat really quick.
All right.
Now, the hot seat. This is right there. The water's right there. But no, the hot seat is normally questions that you have to answer quickly. Okay. But I have 3 questions that I want you to kind of give me an elaboration on because I just want to hear.
Oh, I thought you wanted just an answer.
I want to hear. And it ain't got to be no full elaboration. I just want to hear what you think about it. But so my first question in the hot seat with Aaron Thomas on Talk Live Tuesdays with Tag. No. So, do you feel it's hypocritical to go back and forth between R&B and gospel?
No.
Why?
Music is universal. That's the easiest way to say that. I feel like the whole life, our whole life is compared with categories and stipulations and rules. Yeah. I'm a person that's always going against the grain of my career. It sometimes has its pros, sometimes has its cons. But when it comes to music of any genre, I feel like it's universal.
Okay. So do you feel like, but you feel like it was okay for Kanye West to put out a gospel album?
Most certainly.
Oh, wow.
That's a part of his life experience. Some of his fans may have needed to see that. You know what I mean? Okay. You never know how that impacted somebody else in the world.
Yeah, I actually liked the songs on there, but I was kind of like, okay, well, Kanye's doing a gospel album. And even
you can hear a lot of his lyrics or his life experience that he went through.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Being that you are promoting this, I just seen this the other day, yesterday maybe. It might have been last night, and made me ask this question. Being that you are promoting a gospel album, do you feel it's okay to be online promoting in your underwear and your shirt off and your body out, being that you're promoting a gospel album? Because I saw that on Instagram last night. I was like, and he's talking about an album in the post. Like, what's
Yes,
that?
I think it's all about being tasteful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was walking around, my thing slinging out and the cake sitting nice, I think that's just a bit much. But like I said, I'm all about being relatable. I feel like as long as it's tasteful, it's cool because not everybody is wearing a full suit at the crib. You know what I mean? Not everybody is, whatever. Some people like to just be comfortable in their robe or their underwear or whatever the case, but their bra, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's all about being tasteful without offending somebody.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Listen, I'm a realist. I'm a real person. I'm about to say real nigga.
That's fine. You can say whatever you want to say. That's all I have to say.
Person.
Got you.
I like to be up in my room. That's just me. I can't speak for everybody else. But
okay. Well, do you think the road should be closed?
Closed or open? Sometimes we need to be reminded about the blessings of God.
Okay.
That is hilarious.
Okay.
I'm like, what Beyonce say? If you got it flowing.
Okay. If you got it flowing, boy, I know you want it.
Know what it is.
Okay. So my next question is: Do you regret doing the OnlyFans now that it's
No, I have no regrets in my life. Why? Because I got through it. The only things I regret is the things that I have not overcome myself. And those things, I guess I could say, like doubting myself sometimes, not giving myself enough credit, like putting others before me, taking care of others before I take care of myself. Those small things like that, sometimes I regret. But I know it's a part of my character that I'm still working on balance-wise. But yeah, OnlyFans. It's Beyonce says okay, so it's okay for everybody else.
Hear that? She did say she might start an OnlyFans.
I don't regret anything. I just know for me, I've overcome that. So if anybody out there that feels like they don't have a gateway or a way to escape, just think about your future. Think about your long run. You can only bust it down, but for so long. You know what I'm saying? And if you are doing that, always make sure you have a backup plan. You know what I'm saying? But anybody out there, listen, get your coins, get your money, do what you got to do. I ain't against it. I promise you I'm not against it. But what I'm going to do is make sure it's a more positive narrative to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just not for me. Love y'all.
Not you can only bust it down.
I'm just keeping it a bean. This is all I don't know. Like, how long do you plan to bust it down? Like,
so on the reunion, you and Rico with a K got into a spat. How did it make you feel when Rico said that you were a fan of him versus him being a fan of you?
I let people have their moments. Shout out to Rico with a K. Here's my thing. You're not messy. The reality is he wasn't really shown or paid attention to on the reunion like that. So I think that was his moment to kind of be like, oh yeah, But we all know the real. You know what I'm saying? Every time I see him, like I said, I was just sharing my experience. But every time I seen him, like I always felt like I can't describe the feeling, but I don't know if you ever come across somebody that that's fake. I'm not calling him a fake individual, but the love is fake first because it's like, I don't know if he maybe said some things behind the scene about me or he may feel guilty about something, but to me it just never felt genuine. That's just to me. And when I shared that and when he had said the whole super fan thing, I'll say this, I'm not a fan of anybody but Brandy, period. Number two, what I will do is always give somebody their flowers for what they do. I've committed him a ton of times saying he's a great artist and all that, but that doesn't mean I'm a super fan, though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and the Virgo is Virgoing. Hi, Rico with a motherfucking K.
Very, very dope artist, and he's gonna go really, really, really far.
Yeah, no, I love Rico. We gonna talk Rico with a K. What's that?
Yeah.
But no. And the last thing is, do you think Virgos, are really what the world portrayed them to be? They like to say y'all like crazy. They like to say, pretty much because when Virgo season hit, everybody was like, as soon as Virgo season was over, it got cool, and then all Satan spawns went back to hell.
True.
Like, do you think Virgos are actually that bad?
I wouldn't say we're that bad. We're just very vulnerable around our time. When it's our season, for me, I feel like us as Virgos, we're constantly misunderstood. And a lot of that has to do with us. Sometimes we don't know how to communicate because we have so many walls. A lot of that has to do with our maybe our defense mechanisms or the way that we respond to things is a little bit more open-minded than the norm. So I feel like it's a constant misunderstanding, but there are some cuckoo for Cocoa Puff Virgos out there for sure. I wouldn't
My
put
best friend's one of them.
I wouldn't put myself in that category, but some of them, I don't know, some of them are hotheads. Some of them are very loose at the mouth. I've grown to, tame mine just a smidge. I wouldn't say it's all the way together. But like I said, for me, my discipline is the time and the place for everything. You got to respond to everything. But I'm a proud Virgo. Shout out to my Virgo gang out here. Y'all already know how we do it.
I would have liked to see the Virgo a little bit more on Chase. That's why next season I need to see the Virgo be a Virgo.
Get the call back.
Yeah.
Y'all, I promise you.
I need to see the Virgo. We ain't bad, real bad. Out of the hot seat, I like those answers. You did really.
I'll be ready, sure.
I'm hockey sure.
So you thought you was
We're gonna go into a topic of the week, and of course, what's been out all week is the female rappers going back and forth.
Oh my god.
Arguing, they've been going. It's been
girls
going left. The girls have been fighting bad, really bad. So, do you think that there's really any unity in the female rap genre, or do you feel like it's more so everybody trying to prove a point to Nicki Minaj to get a part of that hierarchy and down somebody else, not necessarily down somebody else, but pretty much be like, I'm that girl because I got a Nicki feature, versus actually being genuine, authentic, or trying to have the actual rap unity.
Well, the industry is purposely to divide artists. That's what it's for. Everything's entertainment. What I'll say is this. I'll say what I didn't like first. I didn't like. Ooh, my Virgo's about to come out. I wasn't a fan of how Cardi B handled a lot of the girls. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you got too much money, you got kids, you got all this stuff, and too much time in your hand. Nobody could tell a grown woman what to do. But she's also one of the younger artists as well, so it could kind of be misconstrued or whatever the case may be. She's 30 now? I thought she was like 25.
She's 30 this month.
Oh, maybe I'm tripping.
She just had a birthday.
Oh,
it's Libra season now. It's coming up.
Oh, okay. Well, blue. Well, I feel like I think the girls want to unite, but they can't. So a lot of them had different contracts and NDAs and all types of stuff that people don't know behind the scenes. Where sometimes they can't reference this artist or they can't work with this artist. And imagine being the female girl coming up that wants to work with Nicki Minaj, but they can't, and they never will. So they always had that greed. They always had that guilt. They always had that, that's something against her or against any other female in the industry.
Do you think Atlantic really put that onto her that she can't work with the Queen of Rap?
I mean, they work together. They have a song together.
They do have Motorsport, but when you think about it, Nicki wasn't even at the actual video shoot with them, and it wasn't like we all locked in studio session kind of thing. It was very much.
I definitely think so, and I'll say that because, I don't know if I'm ever going to get signed to Atlantic, but I'll say this: it didn't go the way y'all thought it was going to go. You know what I'm saying? And sad to say, and now y'all could say whatever, unbiased opinion. I felt like she definitely on the baby's route. Like the whole, she's going to fade out soon, Cardi B. It's a lot of artists that's coming up right now, female artists specifically. But when it comes to unity, yes. Mulatto, there's so many different artists, so many artists to name.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
Millie, so many dope artists.
Who I think a lot of people are sleeping on that is actually a rapper for real, Doechii. I feel like Doechii is like
super creative.
She's a different rapper. Like she's reminding me of how Nicki came into rap, and she was like very animated, very whatever to get her fan base up. And now she was a switch up and do just a actual rap album. I would gag. I would honestly gag.
She's definitely dope. I haven't heard too much from music, but I've definitely seen a lot of her imagery and songs like that. But I think the girls want to be united, and it's going to be very hard to make that happen with all the stipulations and restrictions.
I ain't gonna lie, I really wish it could have happened so I could really,
It should have been happened. It should have been Nicki Minaj, Cardi, Lil Kim song. It just should have been happened. That's just how I feel about that.
I would say a Nicki. I would say a Nicki and Kim song.
Yeah.
Nicki.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gonna say Anyway, well, maybe I ain't gonna say that because I'm actually a forgiver, and I forgave the girls for jumping on me at the brunch, and so she might can't forgive her for coming at her in the Met Gala.
Oh,
Anyway,
God.
the Harper
I like
Bazaar
Megan Thee
party.
Stallion too.
I like
Let's
Megan
not forget
too.
about Megan. She in a lot of
I
drama
like
right
Megan
now.
too,
Kinda
yeah.
clout to the time,
The female rappers in general are like at an all-time high. Like they're all in mess right now, and it's shaking me. But
Yes.
who else gonna do it? Because the male rappers ain't really about nothing right now. They're not even really outside for real. Let's talk about it.
Not at all.
So
That's a whole nother topic.
that's a whole nother topic. But on my show, as we get ready to close out, I like to let my guests give some kind of inspiration to like my audience because I feel like I said on my show, I want it to always be some type of inspiration. I want you to always watch it and get something from it.
Okay.
So just give, whatever inspiration you got in your head, whatever comes to the top of your mind. I'm not even going to give you a topic of what to say, but whatever you feel like can inspire the next person, look into the camera and give it to them.
Man, let me turn Bishop Thomas off. It still might pop up anyway. But
Go ahead. Give it how you got to give it.
To anybody out there, to don't count yourself out. A lot of times we feel like we're not good enough. A lot of times we feel like we're not understood. A lot of times we want validation. There's so many things that go into it. I will say, don't be afraid to live life beyond society's means. And what I mean by that, dig deep into yourself, search for yourself to find out not only what you want to do in life, but who you are in life, what makes you different in the world. And if you don't feel that, maybe you need to, find it through love. Maybe you need to find it through life experience. But learn how to take things day by day. Nothing is going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
Everybody has a time in the season, and everybody has a chapter in life of success, downs, ups, downs, ups, downs, up, downs. Life goes in a cycle. So when it comes your time, you just be ready when it's your time. I'll say to anybody out there that has a dream, anybody that wants to attain the success of a podcast, of artistry, or putting an album out, going #1, whatever. Never give up on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You may not have the support now. You may not have family support. And you may not have your boo support or whatever. But if you feel that deep down inside, your gut will never lie to you. Deep down inside, and what you feel is what's true to you and who you're supposed to be and who you will become. How you speak is how you will think. How you think is how you'll speak. I'm real big on speaking life into everything and whatever. Sometimes I have to change my language. I call it changing my language. A lot of times I say, I can't do it. I can't. Just turn your can't into I can and I am. And I will. I am a winner. I am the lender, not the borrower. I can make it. Different things like that. Change your language, your walk. Wake up every day inspiring yourself. Tell yourself that you love yourself. Make a goal. All those type of things. So inspiring people. There's only one you in the world. And that should be the evidence right there that you're valuable. Anybody that's dealing with suicide, anybody that's dealing with any crazy things right now, know that it's not over because you're still living, you're still breathing. You heard that right here from your boy, AT. Hopefully I wasn't too much.
Yeah, I'm trying to not let the tears fall because my contacts will start sliding.
I'm crying. Now we need that though. Like, there's nobody, I don't care what y'all think, there's nobody perfect in the world, and there's nobody that have made it by themselves successful in the world.
Yeah.
Be okay with trusting people in your corner. I'll tell you this. People only last for a season, but it's up to you to realize who's supposed to be in your life for a lifetime. Be sensitive to the chapters and seasons, the atmospheres that you would go to. Some places you're not going to be able to go. Some places you're not going to be able to speak at. There are certain things. And as you learn yourself and as you're in tune with yourself spiritually, sonically, and emotionally and mentally, you begin to organically view those things and see those things and become the best person that you can be.
Right now, I'm reading this book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And when you said you gotta pretty much like be careful with what you think and then also be careful with what you speak. And a lot of people here, even people that I've been around lately, like one of my coworkers, she always be like, if I say something, Troy, don't say that. You gotta speak, you gotta say this differently. Or you gotta say like whatever, because she's like, every time you think about something. And I'm reading that book, and that book is telling me too, like, it literally starts with your mind. Like, people think it starts with your word, but if you think that it will happen, it'll happen.
Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Yes.
That thing is so real. And his life and death is literally in the power of your tongue. Literally, I promise y'all. I was sick through my first album. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it.
Mhm.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And now I start changing my language. That's when I started healing.
Mm.
I had a bad stomach virus. I don't know what it was. And it was just so, like, when I tell y'all it was so bad, it's kind of disgusting. I ain't gonna get into it. But you have to really speak life.
Yeah.
Like, you really got to speak life, because what you speak is literally what will happen.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying there's anything magical or anything like that, but
If you put it out there,
I'm telling you, once you put it out, it's out.
It's out. It's
Mhm.
out. Well, Aaron, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming on my show.
It's an honor.
This has been amazing. Like I feel like every time I do a show, one show be lit, one show be very much educational. Like I feel like my first show I did with Nieces was very much, turned up. Then my second episode was with Meek, and then we got more into a serious convo. And I feel like we still laugh, we still kiki, we did some things, but I feel like I don't know, you just really like, and I'm starting to hear a lot of things lately repetitive, but I feel like what you just said like really resonated with me, and I say this a lot, and I feel like I was supposed to hear those words. So, one, thank you for gracing my couch with your presence, and thank you
I'm
for
honored.
doing this, taking the time out your busy schedule, because we know you're busy. But also just continue to doing what you're doing. You're gonna be successful. You're gonna be the person that you see yourself being, and it's like even if it's not, even if it's not right now what you want to be, what you're thinking you're going to be is who you're going to be.
Yes.
So
gotta be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I'm real big on that. That's where I'm at in my life, because I know where I want to be.
Yeah.
I know where I'm headed, but I also don't know what God is going to do.
Yeah.
So I just have to be, make sure I'm on point with that. But yes, all things are possible. If you believe, you will achieve it. I promise you, I'm a witness to that over and over again in life.
And make sure you're getting Aaron's gospel album.
Yes, please. It's called God Doors, out right now.
Yes, make sure you're getting that, downloading all that good stuff, and buying as well. You always don't just download, buy the album as well.
Share it with somebody else.
Yes.
Let it get lit.
Well, this has been another episode of Talk Live Tuesdays with Tag. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Tag did it. We got Aaron Thomas, reality star, singer, #1 gospel album in the world. We gonna speak it right here on the couch. Talk Live Tuesdays with Tag. Y'all already know what it is.
Yeah.
Boom.
You know where we at? It's time to sip and chat. Get to the bag and tell them that Tag